Hey, what is going on, everybody? And happy anniversary is what I would like to say. So obviously that's what today's topic of the video is going to be. I also do want to put a disclaimer out there that I am kind of sick still. If you guys were with me on Saturday's live stream, that you know or on my Discord, then you know I'm not really all that well right now. So please bear with me as we go through the video today. So we're at the store reset right now, and if you go into the events well, if you've been anywhere, you know that the Stellar Celebration event starts today, the milestone. But what we didn't really know, though, was exactly how many days it was going to be. I kind of assumed it was going to be 14 days, so it turns out, yes, it is 14 days. This was the duration of the Showtime currency event back in December, so I kind of did some math calculations based on that fact, and it looks like I'm not wrong there. But what is added today is the Universal Truth Milestone. Now, this was the War Credits and Elite War Credits milestone. This turns out to be a daily milestone, because that's why it probably wasn't showing up until now. So this is a 24-hour milestone repeating every single day. Now, I'm not going to be going back into the Dark Matter milestone because we did that in the previous video. But if you go into the Universal Truth milestone, this is spending War Credits and Elite War Credits. So it's a 1-to-1 ratio for War Credits, 1 to 5 or 5 to 1 for Elite War Credits. So if you're spending an Orange War Orb 2, for example, that'll actually get you 6,000 points, because it's 1,200 credits times 5 is 6,000. And so what you get out of here is 575, I'm pretty sure I tallied this up properly, 575 Cosmic Essence per day. Now, I do want to also say that you don't need to actually do any of this in order to clear the event, which we're going to go over in the math section of the video, where I've kind of tallied everything up. And I'm going to acknowledge this, you know, because it's going to be different for everyone. Whether or not you actually saved any War Credits or Elite War Credits or not, you don't need this to actually fulfill the Dark Matter milestone. This will just help make it easier, you know, if you're someone who doesn't really blitz all the time. So I am going to acknowledge the points that come from this, but it's not going to be the primary way or a method that you really need in order to clear the Dark Matter milestone. I will say very quickly, because this was really important, the Dark Matter milestone does include a 5 Red Zemo somewhere in the 2/3 portion here at the milestone 36, 43,500 points. So if at all possible, do try and get this. There is a lot of great resources in there. I'm not going to go through it in its entirety. 18G, 15 minis, 20 gold, promotion credits, an Elite 5 orb, Elite 4 orb, and some other stuff along the way. But primarily the 5 Red Zemo is very good. If you still happen to need that, definitely work towards that for this event, which is 14 days long. And even though that Silver Surfer is on the cover art of all of this, he isn't anywhere to be seen, and you aren't actually getting Silver Surfer shards for this event, which is also kind of funny. And really quickly, before we do get over to the math section, of course, there is some offers here related to the event. Apparently we're getting there's 10 for 10 shards coming back, and hey, Cosmic Wanderer offer is back. So if you guys remember from the other day, there was a 60 shard Silver Surfer offer with no context, just just 60 Silver Surfer shards. But now, well, it's back, and you get the gold orb and the training orb and the 5 purple gear, which is highly insulting. This is a topic for a whole nother video, which I'll be doing later on this week, regarding offers and the exploitation of said offers, because wow, if you've been anywhere, then you might also know that some people have a 6-star Silver Surfer because you can exploit these offers, which I'm not going to repeat here, and nothing that I have ever done myself. But wow, it was just a bombshell news last couple of 2 days, and this hasn't been addressed yet by Scopely, so I hope it does. But I did want to throw that out there. Of course, there are some other offers out here related to Celestial Orbs, which is the main orange gear orb that you'll open for points. So if you want to pay to win towards getting this milestone cleared, you can do this pretty easily. There's a lot of offers available for that. I would not really recommend a ton of these, because I think as long as you have a reasonable amount of time, that you should be able to do this no problem. So I just wanted to kind of show that really quickly before we jump into the main part of the video, which is the math section. So let's jump on over to my spreadsheets. Alright, and so here we are in the infamous spreadsheet portion of my event. I can now change this 14-day question mark to 14 days. It is actually indeed 14 days. So we're going to start up from the top. Let's zoom this in a little. Oh no, it actually screws up. We're going to keep it like this. So total amount of points that you need for this milestone is 72,000. This is for the dark matter milestone, but we do get 600 cosmic essences from the login calendar. This is 200 on 3 different days. So really the total score that you need for this milestone is 71,400. Now, of course, the points for the milestone includes 800 for a celestial orb, which is orange gear, 600 for galactic, which is a purple gear orb, and 300 for solar orbs, which is blue orbs. For me personally, I'll just be opening celestial orbs. I don't know why, not 99 prime time orbs, 90 celestial orbs. That's from the old event. The points are actually the same. So in terms of the way that you're going to get daily cosmic essence is through the following. So there's a lot of objective based ways. So raid battles, the optional objective, that's going to get you 400 points a day. The RTA real-time arena objective is going to get you 200 points a day. Arena battle also going to get you 200 points a day. And then there's campaign energy and ISO 8 campaign energy. So depending on how many cores you spend, here we have in the campaign energy, I have 1,008, and this is assuming that you get your 288 daily energy. This is just your normal energy timer regeneration, and then 240 for free. This is your 80 times 3 refreshes at your different times of the day, and then plus 480 for the 4 coring, or how many cores you do. So this is the expectation that you'll be getting at least 1,008 campaign energy a day, and then you'll be getting 720 points daily from the ISO 8 campaign energy. Now this is the 360 daily. The timer is slightly different than the regular campaign energy. Plus 240 for free, and then plus 1 daily refresh. Now if you do more, that's entirely up to you, but for me, I only actually do the free single daily refresh, and that's what you get from the other objectives. So that leads up to a total of 2,528 daily points. Now that's going to be important when we do the final calculations, which includes blitz, because outside of this, it really comes down to blitzing and a little bit of the war credit milestone, which I will mention down below. So how you get currency is that if you do a sim blitz, you get 22. If you do a manual, you do 36. Frankly, I don't, if you have sim blitzing available to you, I don't know anyone who goes out of their way to do manual blitzing. I understand that, you get more points, but from a time perspective, sim blitzing is still faster, and even if you don't have the time to do 8 sim rotations, which you don't really need to do anyways, but I mean, from a time perspective, it takes 30 minutes for me to do like 1 manual rotation, whereas it takes me like 5 or less for a sim, so you have to put that into perspective there. Now, in terms of the war credit milestone, like I said, I am going to acknowledge it here, so you can get a total of 575 per day, and 8,050 if you were to max the milestone over the course of 14 days. Now, because not a lot of people saved their war credits, it's a very valuable currency. I'm not going to be adding this into my calculations here, but if you're someone who did save war credits, know that whatever scenario that you happen to hit on the side here, I have various scenarios here that you'll be doing better than what this says. And if you are someone that's early or a mid game and you don't have as many teams to be able to do in your blitz rotations, then you can compensate with this, and that'll help you get through further. So do keep that in mind. So we're going to start off the top here, and maybe we'll just move this over a little bit and zoom in. Can I do that here a little bit? So we're starting off with scenario 1. This is the best case. If you have 30 blitz wins, so this, I think there's a total of 34 or 35 blitz teams you can throw together if you have all the characters. This is assuming that you do 6 rotations. So all of this is including 6 rotations. Now, obviously that 2,528 from the side, this is important because that's added into the calculation everywhere. That's your daily, it says screen time, but it should say cosmic essence. Now I'm gonna have to fix that everywhere, but I'll fix it here. So daily cosmic essence, that's your objectives and energy based cosmic essence at 2,528. Now, if you do basically 6 rotations of 30 blitz wins, you'll get a total of 3,960 cosmic essence for the day. Now, again, I have numbers here for manual if you're interested in that, but basically your total daily, and I keep getting confused because it says screen time everywhere. I really need to fix that. I'll fix that for when I upload this to my Google Drive, so you guys can take a look if you need to afterwards. But basically 6,400, rounding up about 6,500 currency a day, and if you were to do this every single day, you would be able to finish this in 11 days, which is much below the 14-day requirement of the event. And if you did spend any war credits or elite war credits, then you'll get that done even sooner. Now, What do you do if you don't have that many teams that can win? Well, I have a 25 blitz win and 20 blitz win scenario. So this is what I call the scenario 2, the middle ground. So this is 25 blitz wins. Now this is assuming that maybe you have less teams that can win, or you have just 5 less blitz teams in general. Now you look at the same numbers here. Again, I keep getting distracted by the screen time part. So what's important is down here is you'll be able to complete it in about 12.25 days here now if you do it sim. Now where it gets bad obviously is where some of these numbers are not green, which is kind of where you get up to here. This is scenario 3, the worst case, where you're only using 20 blitz wins on 6 rotations. And basically what this means is if you're doing sim blitzing only with that many blitz wins a rotation, then you're going to need to do more than 6 rotations a day, upwards to 7 or 8. It does say 13.82, which is very close to 14 because there's only 14 days in the event. So you're going to want to make sure you stay on top of that if you don't have that many blitz wins per rotation, or you'll have to do more rotations or spend those war credits or the elite war credits in order to compensate for this. Otherwise, it looks pretty good if you do 6 rotations. Now, I did another one here, and this is for 4 rotations because a lot of people wanted to see this because some people just don't have the time to do the amount of blitzing that's required for this event. So I did the same thing, but it's 30, 25, and 20 blitz wins for 4 rotations, and you'll see how the numbers end up stacking out. So if you look at the bottom here, total days to complete for manual simming doing the above. So this is 30 blitz wins, but 4 rotations. You get pretty awfully close here, almost to 14 days. Again, similar to the previous worst case scenario, this is the best case for 4 rotations at 30 blitz wins. So what that means is that obviously you're going to need to compensate either through a little bit more blitzing, maybe 5 rotations instead of 4, or compensating with spending war credits and elite credits to make up for that, or spending cores on the ISO 8 energy possibly to get you some more cosmic essence there. But the 4 rotations cuts pretty close when you're using sim blitzing. Manual, it does do that, but that's really entirely up to you. Again, from a time-based perspective, I would say if you have the time, do an extra sim blitz rotation, because realistically it's not going to take as long as manual blitzing will do, because god do I hate manual blitzing. So scenario 2, the middle ground for the 4 rotations, you see that you get to 15 days, 15.1 days doing the same thing for simming. So again, you know, that's not, if you're only doing 25 blitz wins per rotation, it gets a bit sketchy here. You're going to need to do probably about 5 blitz rotations in order to clear the event or compensate with war credits. Now it gets even worse, of course, going to the worst case scenario, which my head's blocking the way. I'll scroll down a little bit here. Looking at the total days to complete for sim blitzing with only 20 blitz wins in mind at 4 rotations is 16, almost 17 days rounding up. So it looks pretty bad there. So either you're going to need to spend a lot of war credits and elite war credits in order to make this up, you know, some extra cores on the ISO 8 campaign, or you're just frankly going to need to blitz more, because 4 rotations is kind of the bare minimum that I would expect you to be able to complete events for. But having about 5 to 6 rotations is a lot more ideal in terms of being able to clear this. So as you can see, you know, if you only have 20 blitz wins per rotation, you could feasibly do this in manual rotations, but it will take you longer. I'd argue just take the time out and do an extra rotation via sim, and then you'll be fine that way. And of course, if you look at the original box, the original table above, which is with 6 rotations, it's more than covers all of this. And that doesn't even include the war credit milestones that you'll get on top of that. So you'll clear it even quicker if you do war credit and elite credit spending, but I can't account for everyone's individual circumstance, so I didn't want to include that into the math tables here. So yeah, I mean, it actually looks easier than the screen time currency event because all of the numbers are still roughly the same. But we do get the extra war credit and elite credit milestone, and I'm glad that there wasn't any extra rewards inside of that, because a lot of people were pissed off that you were kind of being told to use war credits and elite credits in order to score in a milestone. So I'm glad it's just the cosmic essence. What it seems to be is just like a bonus milestone that helps you clear the event quicker. So because it's a 3rd anniversary event, I'm glad that that's all it was, and it didn't include any special resources in there that would cause people to panic because they didn't hoard them. Now, obviously, you're going to have to decide how you spend the elite credits, particularly because of the way that it gets converted into the points. I think you can only open like 1 Orange War Orb 2 per day and then spend a little bit of war credits on top of that. Otherwise, it kind of goes overflow, so you might want to balance that over the 14-day period if that's what you're trying to maximize. But otherwise, it does look pretty easy to clear, I think. If you're especially being able to do 6 rotations a day, you'll have no problems clearing this at all. So I hope some of this math helps. I will actually make this available in the description below if you want to take a look at this on your own time. This is my MSF event milestones from 2021. I made a new file for this, so if you guys want to check it out on your own and you have Excel or whatever, or Google Docs, or however, you can take a look at it up there. So again, that's the end of this video, guys. Hopefully I'll be feeling a little bit better soon, and you'll see more new videos from me when I'm not kind of a nasally nerd and I sound a little bit better. So thanks everyone for watching, and of course until next time, stay safe, and I'll see y'all later. Boylon signing out.